Astros are at the White House at this hour. Good afternoon. I'm Grace White. We're celebrating our champions for their historic World Series win. This is a picture from the White House less than an hour ago. I'm sure you remember the Astros won against the Dodgers in November. An historic win for Houston, our first title in 51 years. The team's been looking red hot down in Florida for their spring training. They're scheduled to meet with the president in the East Room and then fly back to West Palm Beach later this evening to continue that training. The Astros owner, president, and GM are all there too. We will be covering the Astros visit all day. Tune in starting at 4 o'clock to see Daniel Gutierrez reports from Washington, D.C. Turning to our weather, a live look now over downtown Houston. What a beautiful first day of spring break. Perfect weather to get out and enjoy anything outside with the kids. Blake Matthews is here with a first look at your forecast. Hey, Blake.
Hey, good afternoon, Grace. Yes, we are 8 days, count them 8, from the beginning of spring. So if you're tired of winter, it looks like you're not going to have to wait very much longer, just over a week away. Taking a look outside live over the woodlands. Those are my people up there. Hello, South Montgomery County. 56 degrees right now is the current temperature up there. So nice and cool as we head into the noon hour. And temperatures are in the 50s just about area-wide. 58 degrees down there at Hobby, 56 in Conroe, 59 in Sugar Land, Galveston, and 55 degrees up there in Huntsville. So a cool afternoon. We should see those temperatures break into the 60s heading into the afternoon. 62 by 2 o'clock. We're at 64 heading into the 5 before things begin to cool on down. Grace, we're back into the low 40s heading into the overnight hours tonight, but things warm up just in time for St. Patrick's Day. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
So good to see the sun. Thank you, Blake. Right now, this is a live look as colleagues, family, and friends are saying goodbye to late Houston City Council member Larry Green. He was found dead in his home last Tuesday. Adam Bennett is live outside Brentwood Baptist Church in Southwest Houston with the emotional story. Adam.
Yeah, Grace, this is a tough day for so many people here. In fact, just a few minutes ago, we were hearing from Green's cousin, who he was very close with, talking about Green's hard work ethic that the family instilled in him, but also his love of life, his love of music, and so much more, especially his love for his district. Right now, it is standing room only inside that church, both levels full of people, everybody from friends, family, to also a number of dignitaries as well. We were here earlier as people started arriving early this morning. We saw staff from Green's office, also city council members. A bit later, we saw the mayor and police chief, and then later some state lawmakers as well. Also in attendance in great numbers, members of Green's fraternity, his fraternity brothers. In fact, Alpha Phi Alpha had a special service for Green before the one that's going on right now, and a visitation even before that. Mayor Sylvester Turner told us before the funeral that Green was committed to improving the lives of people in his district. It's the same district that he served for more than 6 years and the one that he's called home throughout his life.
And he was very hands-on, very committed, very dedicated, very hardworking, and didn't mind challenging anyone if he thought that they were not getting what they needed in District K.
The Mayor Turner tells me that he's known Green for more than 25 years. In fact, he first met him while Turner was teaching at TSU's law school. He says he will miss Green as a colleague, a fraternity brother, and a friend. Now, Green is survived by his brother. I'm told he'll be laid to rest in Pearland a little bit later. His death still has not had a cause of death officially ruled by the medical examiner, though foul play is not suspected. Live in Southwest Houston, Adam Bennett, KHOU 11 News.
A huge loss for our city. Thank you, Adam. The man accused of causing a deadly drunk driving crash faced a judge overnight. Investigators say Elmer Quintanilla lost control while speeding and hit 5 cars on Beltway 8 yesterday afternoon. He's now charged with murder. Fire rushes through an apartment complex in North Houston overnight. It was neighbors knocking on doors that got people out. Michelle Choi shows us the damage.
Building 10 now left in pieces. In total, 16 apartment units burned to the ground. Sadly, one dog was killed on this first floor unit inside, while another was rescued by firefighters. Fortunately, everyone else made it out safely thanks to neighbors helping neighbors. As flames ripped through this 2-story apartment building.
I woke up, I heard somebody screaming, it was a fire outside.
Folks who made it out safely tried to make sense of the chaos.
People were beating on the apartments, telling us to get out.
Neighbors trying to save neighbors.
We couldn't see nothing. We couldn't see 2 feet.
It was so black. The smoke was so black and thick.
A fire that forced this couple to jump out of their second-floor window. Just seconds later, they say they began banging on doors to get people out.
I hope everybody that was in there got out safe. But we tried to get as much people out there as we could.
This guy even cutting up his hand as he broke through windows to make sure no one was left behind.
I'm just blessed. Like, I'm glad I got a chance to save lives and save my own life.
And their efforts made a difference. Everyone made it out safely. But in the midst of it all, a woman runs up wailing, crying her dogs are inside. In true miracle fashion, minutes later, firefighters managed to save one of them. The dog drenched in water, covered in soot, yet still alive. Our camera's rolling as he's reunited with his owner, too emotional to speak.
I'm sorry.
And as the inferno began to fizzle out, Red Cross helped to warm up more than a dozen families forced out in the cold by the fire, all thankful for one another.
The people around me, you know, we like family.
Firefighters believe the fire may have started on the first floor. The exact cause is still under investigation. Standing for Houston, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Another big fire overnight, huge flames shooting from this building as it began to collapse just before midnight. This happened on the North Freeway feeder just south of Cross Timbers. The building is an old motel that's been partially converted to office space. Fortunately, no one was hurt. A teen is dead and his mother injured after police say a package blew up in their home this morning. It happened in Austin around 7 a.m. Right now, the FBI, ATF, and local law enforcement are all investigating what happened. The Postal Service confirms the package did not come through its mail system, and authorities believe it was not brought by a carrier service. There was a second explosion very similar to one earlier this month in Austin. Now investigators are trying to figure out if the two incidents are related. They do say hate crimes cannot be ruled out at this time. Still to come this afternoon, the latest on a deadly helicopter crash in New York. What we're learning about the victims today, including a firefighter from North Texas. Plus, a plant in Crosby facing more fallout following a fire and chemical release during Hurricane Harvey. And later, get ready to take the bull by the horns. We're learning what it takes to hang on for 8 seconds.
The Texas heat will be here soon. Beat the rush this spring with an AC tune-up. Call Village Plumbing and Air today for our $49 preseason special.
We've provided trusted service to Greater Houston for over 70 years. Village Plumbing and Air. Call 713-REPAIRS.
Top Tax Defenders, with their local team of attorneys and former IRS agents, help real people solve tax problems, like audits and tax liens.
Top Tax Defenders has gotten me out of years and years of harassment by the IRS.
It was a painless experience. Before that, I couldn't sleep. I was gaining weight.
When the IRS says you owe them $10,000 or more, call us today to see how we could help.
Living with chest pain was limiting what my husband could do. When he was turned down for heart surgery, we learned about protected PCI with Impella, a treatment option for some high-risk heart patients who are not candidates for bypass surgery. If you or a loved one have been turned down for heart surgery, ask your doctor and visit Impella.com to learn about the procedure and see if it may be an option for you. We're so grateful to our heart team that protected PCI with Impella was an option for him and us.
When you call on us for help, we answer, even at 3 o'clock in the morning. Try us holidays, nights, and weekends, because justice never sleeps. Simmons & Fletcher, Christian Trial Lawyers.
The Texas heat will be here soon. Beat the rush this spring with an AC tune-up. Call Village Plumbing and Air today for our $49 preseason special.
We've provided trusted service to Greater Houston for over 70 years. Village Plumbing and Air. Call 713-REPAIRS.
In other top stories this morning, Liberty County filed a suit against Arkema Incorporated for the chemical discharge during Hurricane Harvey. The suit alleges the plant violated the Texas Clean Air Act by releasing a mixture of chemicals into the air and when wastewater tanks spilled pollutants into the groundwater system. The NTSB is investigating a deadly helicopter crash that happened in New York City's East River on Sunday. 2 of those victims are from Texas, including Brian McDaniel, a Dallas firefighter visiting New York this week. The sightseeing chopper's pilot radioed out Mayday and engine failure before plunging into the icy water. The pilot survived the crash, but all 5 passengers died. In Nepal, a plane goes down, killing at least 50 people, and there are still missing. Rescuers had to cut apart the mangled wreckage to save more than a dozen people. Witnesses say the twin propeller plane swerved, crashed, and burst into flames as it landed at the airport.